Hello, this is a free download from BBC Radio 7. Aren't you modern? For more information about Newsjack, plus details on how to write for it, visit www.bbc.co.uk/radio7. For details on how to actually write, you'll have to go somewhere else. Hello and welcome to Newsjack, the show that says today what the Now Show repeats tomorrow in front of a rather larger audience. My name is Miles Jupp, the last working comedian yet to be contacted for Let's Dance for Comic Relief. This week, after a court case against a Christian couple, the rules for foster parents have been changed. From now on, prospective parents must accept the existence of alternative lifestyles and face up to the fact that it's possible any child may grow up to become a professional sportsman. The world's most powerful microscope has been unveiled right here in the UK. It can see objects at just 50 billionths of a metre in size, but has not yet managed to spot the point of Danny Alexander. This was also the week that saw campaigners demanding that pagans became an officially recognised religion on the census form. It's estimated there are 250,000 pagans in the UK today. That's the population of Plymouth. Actually, that probably is the population of England have been beaten by Ireland in the Cricket World Cup. It's shocking, isn't it? There's a Cricket World Cup. That's all we'll be saying about the Cricket World Cup. If you'd come along hoping for half an hour of jokes about spin on the subcontinent and the advisability of taking the batting power play too early, what can I say? So did I. And the Royal Mail has released figures revealing that only a third of first-class post arrived on time over the Christmas period. We here at Newsjack have only just received some material that was due several weeks ago. So in tonight's show, you can look forward to jokes about WikiLeaks, the Chilean miners, and the exciting prospects for England 2018. On with the show! This week saw further turmoil surrounding Colonel Gaddafi, the most evil man Libya has ever seen, with the possible exception of those blokes in the camper van from Back to the Future. But the UN is getting tough. This week they announced sanctions against the Libyan administration, and UN spokeswoman Jennifer Surname is here to give us the details.
Evening, Miles. We love Newsjack at the UN. Ban Ki-moon is a very big fan.
Oh, really?
Not really. He's more of a 10 o'clock live guy. We just wanted you to feel good. At the UN, we like to make everyone feel good, unless they are nasty dictators, in which case we play hardball.
You institute sanctions?
No, we play hardball. Everyone turns up to the park, the UN and the dictators, we have a barbecue, and then we have a game of hardball. It's like softball, but harder.
But with Libya, things are different. You're getting tough.
Very tough. We have cancelled Gaddafi's Sky Plus subscription. From now on, he's stuck with Freeview.
Even during major sporting events?
We're showing no mercy, Miles. The red button won't work either.
And if these tough new measures don't work?
Well, we have one ultimate sanction. The toughest one. It's one we are reluctant to take. His regime would crumble in hours.
Yes?
We'll trick him into going on Tool Academy.
Oh, the humanity. The Oscars were awarded on Sunday night. No real surprises. The King's Speech swept the board, while Inception picked up 4 awards, which must have been a dream within a dream within a dream come true. But Colin Firth wasn't the only big British winner. Deep down in the Technical and Craft Awards, in among the awards for Best Supporting Stocking and Best Adapted Hair, another great British talent was recognised, as our correspondent Sharon Chimera can explain.
That's right, Miles. The King's Speech stole all the plaudits, but it was another British production, Data Protection, Key Points to Remember, which won the Academy Award for Best Original PowerPoint Presentation for its creator, Mike Graham.
I gather this was something of a shock result, Sharon.
Yes, Miles. Most of the money was on 4-time Oscar winner and Director of Personnel, Trevor Adams, whose highly popular presentation, Health and Safety, Important and Fun, was widely tipped to win the award.
What was it that made Data Protection Key Points to Remember so distinctive? Was it the special effects?
Well, Miles, it certainly is visually stunning, what with its clever use of bullet points and state-of-the-art 3D fonts. Some of the special effects have to be seen to be believed. The screen wipes, the checkerboard patterns, the one where it goes all pixely.
It also has a great soundtrack, I understand.
Absolutely, it's got whooshes, zaps, phone ringing sounds, guns firing. Get this, at one point, it even sounds like a typewriter is tapping out the words as they appear on screen. A cinematic coup that left the likes of Martin Scorsese green with envy.
Wow, I imagine Graham must have given a great acceptance speech then.
Fortunately not. He couldn't get his laptop to work with the projector. Yeah, basic compatibility issues. Yeah, after 20 minutes he had to give up and use a flip chart instead. Wasn't quite what we hoped for, Miles.
Still, all in all, less embarrassing than Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh, yeah.
Britain's rail network is a lot like David Guest. Several facelifts later, and it still doesn't look any better. But now there's going to be a new high-speed rail network allowing travel from Birmingham to London in just 49 minutes, meaning someone from Solihull can get up at 7, have breakfast, catch the train and get mugged on the way to the office, all before 8:30. To celebrate the new network, the BBC are launching a revival of a much-loved series.
The Railway Children by Edith Nesbit. Chapter 43, The High Speed Network.
Mama, I think I see one coming.
That was The Railway Children by Edith Nesbit.
Welcome back to this week's episode of Middle East Apprentice. After failing to win this week's challenge, the losing team finds themselves back in the boardroom facing the wrath of Sheikh Allen.
Right. Now, I'm not a barrel of oil, but I'm going to be crude. You lot are a bleeding disgrace. Look, I control a vast Middle Eastern empire. Do I look like a camel? I should do, because you lot have given me the hump. Now, let me tell you, if you lot weren't for me, you'd be giving me sleepless Arabian nights. You're a bloody shower. How could you have failed in such an easy task, exporting democracy to the Middle East? Libya, Egypt, they seem to have managed it, yet my tyrannical dictatorship remains firmly untoppled. What do you think, Karen?
Well, they started well, Sheikh Allen, but they let themselves down with poor planning and sales technique on the day. So, in conclusion, they are unworthy to touch the hem of your garment, O radiant star of the morning.
Well, I've weighed it all up, and I'm afraid one of you will be fired.
No, Sheikh Allen, it is you who are to be fired. We are sick of your despotic cruelty, your refusal to permit freedom of speech, your execution without trial. But most of all, we are sick of your poorly written puns which are deployed without mercy or restraint.
Oh, really? I think you'll find that though the mighty pyramids may crumble, you will never destroy this geezer.
One dictatorship, 6 million angry dissidents. Sheikh Allen's search for an escape route to the west continues. Anyone who believes in the wisdom of crowds has clearly never seen several thousand people waiting for a performance by Justin Bieber. But we're always keen to hear the opinions of the public, so we've once again plugged in our highly technological listening device, the Jack app, to see what on earth it is that you've been talking about.
The Jack app.
Please leave your message after the tone.
I think this new high-speed train is a brilliant idea. Sometimes you simply can't get out of Birmingham fast enough.
I resent the fact that Joanna Lumley thinks British teenagers are ill-educated louts who engage in petty crime. Some of us are actually involved in quite sophisticated online scams.
It's World Book Night this Saturday, so please, everyone, remember all those forgotten authors by lighting a Kindle.
Devolution, no thank you very much. God created the world in 7 days and 7 nights, and no referendum will change that.
Congratulations, your country has been personally selected for a revolution. Press 1 for a bloodless coup named after a colour of your choice. Press 2 for bloody anarchy and an unclear future. Press 3 for John Simpson.
Are you an openly gay sportsman?
Do you want to connect with other openly gay sportsmen in your area?
Gay sportsmen like Surrey wicketkeeper Stephen Davies,
Former Welsh rugby captain Gareth Thomas.
and literally no one else.
With David Cameron away this week, who should be left in charge other than Nick Clegg? The obvious answer to which is pretty much everyone, with the possible exception of John Galliano. When asked whether he was the man in charge, Nick replied, "Yeah, I suppose I am. I forgot about that." Well, we wanted to find out how he's been getting on, so here for a 60-second interview is the Nick Clegg himself, Nick Clegg. OK, let's begin.
60-second interview.
So, Mr. Clegg, with the Prime Minister away, you're finally running the show.
Oh dear, am I? Why is that then?
Because the Deputy Prime Minister has to make decisions if the Prime Minister goes abroad.
Yes, and luckily he hasn't so far, touch wood.
No, but he is. He's away now.
Is he?
Yeah, he's in the Middle East, so you're leading the government until he gets back.
Oh, I see. Yes, well, I suppose I am. I forgot about that.
So how do you feel about, say, Prime Minister's questions in the House of Commons? Isn't that daunting?
No, not really.
You don't get nervous?
Heavens, no. I mean, it's the Prime Minister's job to answer all the questions. I just have to sit there and occasionally throw sweet wrappers at the opposition.
But the Prime Minister won't be there, will he? You'll have to do it.
Why? Where's he gone?
Surely you've noticed the PM is away.
Look, Miles, I'm only human. And, you know, to be honest, I can be a bit forgetful from time to time. I'm terrible at remembering names, terrible at remembering song lyrics. Sometimes I can barely remember the Lib Dem manifesto. And I'm pretty sure I didn't switch off the downstairs lights at the house before I came here.
I understand. The lights are on, but nobody's home. Oh, that's a shame we're out of time.
Good job, too. I have to get back to party headquarters. If I'm not there, we might lose the general election and the Tories might get in. What'll happen about top-up fees then?
Mr. Clegg, thank you.
Not at all, Sir David. It's been a pleasure.
Offering an extraordinary insight into the mind of one of Britain's best-loved sportsmen, we present The Diary of Ashley Cole. Sunday.
Training. Training is like playing proper football, but with less people there watching. Chips for tea.
Monday.
Sick in a hairdresser's car. Toast for tea.
Tuesday.
I've begun to realise the paradox at the heart of Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky. It's why the hero, Raskolnikov, believes he can live by different rules, yet expect to get away with it. As for me, I despise the solitude of my existence. I am a man-child, cut adrift from convention and desperately seeking shelter from oblivion. Chips for tea.
Wednesday.
Match day. Match day is a bit like training, but with more people there watching. I think if people got to know me, they'd realise I'm not such a bad bloke, really. We won. So I celebrated by rolling around in a pile of my own money, then shooting a bloke in the leg. Chips for tea.
Following a new EU ruling, insurance providers will no longer be able to offer customers different prices based on their gender. That's bad news for Sheila's Wheels, whose car insurance deals will no longer be bonza, but reduced to merely fair dinkum. We were supposed to have EU spokesman Robin van der Pigeon here to discuss this story, but he doesn't appear to have arrived yet.
Sorry I'm late. Traffic was a nightmare.
Really?
Yeah, gridlocked back to Marble Arch. So I just went up on the pavement, which was surprisingly congestion-free.
So this new ruling...
Oh, it's clear gender discrimination to give women a better price just because they're women. You and I, Miles, we can't help being men no matter what they tell us.
No, but the statistical analysis does show...
But who does this analysis, Miles? It's women, manipulating spreadsheets with their delicate fingers, fiddling the maths with their womanly wiles, staring at us with their lying eyes.
Are you married, Robin?
Not anymore.
I see.
Yes, it's always women conspiring against us, and old people.
Old people?
Oh, yes. They look harmless with their, would you like a cup of tea, dear? And their, have you come above the binge? But old people get better insurance deals than young people, let me tell you. So, we're putting a stop to that, too. Stick that up your Rover 200 saga.
So you're against women and old people?
Well, that's just for starters, Miles. I mean, can you believe that insurance companies restrict no-claims bonuses to people who haven't made claims? And don't get me started on their attitude toward people who can't drive. A lot of insurance companies won't even insure you at all if you don't have a license. It's political correctness gone mad, yes? Well, they won't stop me driving, to be sure, yes.
No, but hopefully the magistrates will. Robin van der Pigeon, thank you very much. Hello, and welcome back to Ed Miliband Watch.
We've been waiting 135 days now, and thus far we've seen no sign of the elusive and rather fluffy leader of the opposition. There are sounds emitting from his warm, snug den, which is constructed entirely from tufts of Gordon Brown's hair and twiglets hoovered out of the carpet in John Prescott's office. The Milliband very rarely emerges in public. It's very, very shy. Some experts have wondered whether it even exists at all. But one thing we can be sure about, with the economy in its second quarter of contraction and the government cutting everything from the NHS to income support, when it does emerge, this tiny little Milliband is going to be very cross. Hold on. Yeah, I can see his nose twitching. He's sniffing the air and I think he's going to attack. Oh no, wait, something spooked him. I think it might have been the swoop of an approaching Harriet Harman. Yes, it looks like we're going to have to wait a bit longer to see any official opposition. So over to Kate Humble